I joined this project to talk about the analysis unity. We think consciousness is a very difficult thing, right? But we all talk about things like electric energy in the brain, maybe neurochemical interactions between neurons. But there's another thing that it is observed, that is material, and a material substrate of cognition. Uh, can you
Sí.
help me? Okay. Uh, and this is the behavior. The behavior is just another level of analysis of cognition, uh, but not from a behavioral perspective. We think behavior can be embedded in a more ecological system. We can grab more than behavior in the behavior. So we start with a definition from Dr. Diaz. It's a multiform and overlapping spatiotemporal series of muscular activity. This is what can we see as we can define electrophysiological activity, as we can define neurotransmitter levels, everything. This is the same with the behavior. So uh, when we say multiform, uh, it means the behavior can be performed by different ways. The behavior has something that led us to classify as a unity, as an action unity, a unity of analysis. This is the, oh, I don't know what's happening. Uh, This unit of analysis encloses the execution, the muscular movement, the psychoneural stage, the EEG, the information coming from the ethnography and phenomenology, something we already talked about this social context and the cultural context. Sorry, the ethnography is the way we can access to the phenomenology, to the insight of the conscience, to through an interview, through an interview. Can you change the slide, please? Uh, this unity of analysis, this way to abort, to study the consciousness, comes from this article, The Neuroanthropology of Shamanic Trance, a case study within ritual specialists from Mexico, already cited by the Dr. Antonella. Can we change the, okay. Here we see the research team going to the place. In this case, the study was made in the place where the shaman gives their sessions, their service. The shaman description has already talked by the doctor. The patient, in this case, we are talking about one example. It's a male, around 50-year-old, nearly onset Parkinson's disease, diagnosis 3 years ago. So the patient comes because he reported a Parkinson diagnosis with 3 years. But he suspects he has damage on his energy, spiritual part of the human being. They call susto, scared in English. Is susto is an cultural filial syndrome or witchcraft. Yeah, can we pass the other? Okay. The patients were connected to an EEG gear. We can see all the process. I'm gonna stand up. Here we see the reference record to compare the brain electrical activity. They are just sitting in silence with their eyes open or their eyes closed. This is a reference. This is just the process. Here we see la limpia, the cleansing, la limpia, the egg reading. I don't know if it's clear, but here are a candle here. The feeling of pulsos. They are specific points in the body known as pulsos, not the heart breathing, the heart beating. It's another thing. The diagnosis, and finally a massage the shamans give to the patient. Yeah, can we pass? This is just an example. Here we can see the unit of analysis. I like to call it as a social act. Dr. Mercadillo called it, I don't remember. Sorry. Okay, but it compounds, the unit, it's very complex. It happened in a time lapse in the time. Uh, it has a behavioral expression known as a muscular activity observed in the video. A linguistic aspect is the oral production during the lapse. In some moments, they speak, in others, they don't speak. And the function. What's the goal these behaviors achieve according to the social context? In this case, is the limpia. The limpia implies you have to do a lot of things. For example, the limpia, when the egg passes through the body, when the egg is red in the against the light of the candle, uh, those are social acts, but all these social acts are part of the healing, of the process of the healing. Yeah. Okay. And we have an interview that uh, talk us about what is happening in the conscious of the person, in the shaman and in the patient. Okay. Can we pass the other? Okay. Okay. Can you down the translation? I can see. Okay. Okay. That's fine. Here's a video. You can see the video, the behavior. Can you play it? Okay. Put the there. There's. We can see. No. How the shamans rub the egg through the body. Have you ever seen a Parkinson patient? Do you think this patient have Parkinson? That's an interesting thing. So we see the limpia. This is the time it laps around 2 minutes. The behavioral expression we already see here. There's no linguistic aspect. It's a process that happens in totally quiet. Uh, and the function. Uh, According to this cultural context, the egg partially absorbs the patient energy into the egg. They do this for a reason. A reason, if you see the video, you can understand. You must to understand the culture in where these behaviors, these rituals happen. So it has sense into the culture, yeah, into the society. So this is a raw translation. This is my translation of the patient. Sorry. How did you feel during the session? This is the interviewer. Angel, uh, calm. I didn't feel any nervous. No, very quiet. Interviewer, how did you realize that you were calm? What did you feel? How did you feel the tranquility? Tranquility. Okay. I didn't have, if you know me, I didn't have any shakes. Your hands shaking, you mean? So there is no shaking during the session. That's an interesting thing. We must to continue to study how is going after the healing session. How feel? We want to know what's happened with Angel in this time. This is an interesting phenomenon. Where it deserves more research. Can we pass? Okay, thanks. This is another. Can we start with the behavioral? Okay, this is the massage around 3 minutes. Uh, just some instructions. If you realize the patient wears light down and they change light up. So just the patient reports the sensation to loud, but with all the team, all the person in there, he feels shame. So it is interesting this interaction between the observer and the object of observation. The next, no, yeah, and this is an important thing. This at any time during the session, did you feel something, some connection with Don Angelino? Some moment where you might feel like he understand you properly, or that you understood what he has doing as like. I actually expect that connection, but not. I just relaxed, but not. I didn't feel like there was that connection. No, no, no. I didn't feel like it. So this is against our hypothesis, but it's not surprising. There's a lot of effects where, so it's a very weird. You must to be aware of something. You must to be conscious of something, but the effects are unconscious, like the placebo effect. If you don't see the you are receiving the placebo, if you're not conscious of you taking a pill, the placebo effects doesn't happen. So it is curious because it's something that must to be aware, but the effect are unconscious. So if we observe, if we identify a connection that is unconscious, it's interesting. Even that conscious is not here. The patient doesn't report that connection consciously, doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I don't. Yeah, that's all.